Well, it's Christmas, a time of love, joy, and unhinged capitalism. I wrote the script then, okay? It also means the year's coming to an end, and this one, in my opinion, has been kinda shit. But that is not true of my gaming experience. I've been eating good this year. So, allow me to recall the highlights of my year in gaming for 2022. This year, I went to a retro gaming expo for the very first time, and it was amazing. I bought many things, all at very low prices. Halo Reach for $4? That's a steal! The most expensive thing I bought at the expo was a copy of Zelda for $33. That is how good the prices are, like seriously. If you ever have the chance to go to a retro game expo, please do. It's such a fun experience being surrounded by like-minded people. It's just unforgettable. Also, I met Luigi, nuff said.
Nice shoes. Psycho Mantis.
I started getting into Metal Gear this year. Kept you waiting, huh? Anyways, of the mainline entries, I played Metal Gear Solid 3 and MGS5. 3 had a great and incredibly convoluted story, and I think that it's a really good entry point for the series, and 5 is an incredibly engaging sandbox to mess around in. I also played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This game! Oh, this game! High octane, irreverent, metal, power fantasy, humorous, gory, all of these adjectives come to mind when discussing it, and yet somehow, some way, the story still proves to be almost as thought-provoking and thematically rich as the other games. It is brilliant. Go play it. Platinum Games, you are the GOATs. Please make a Chainsaw Man video game. Super Metroid is the best SNES game, period. Like, that is it. There is no better game. Donkey Kong Country, screw off. Mario World, no. Earthbound, no. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy III, you name it, no. None of those are as good. Super Metroid is the best one, hands down. It's not even close, okay? Before I beat it this year, I thought that it was overrated. Those damn floaty physics were a real sticking point for past me. Then, one fateful day, having played Zero Mission, Fusion, Prime, and Dread, I decided to sit down and do a full playthrough to see what all the hype was about. Within an hour of playing, I threw Pass Me Into the Wood Chipper and saw the light. This game is incredible. The sense of atmosphere is so thick, you can literally feel the environment surround you in real life. The level design is immaculate, and the tiny story has an insane impact. It's shocking, like shockingly good. I'm definitely gonna replay this and make a full review, but for now, I'll leave you with 3 words while on the topic. Play Super Metroid. I also played some NES games this year for some videos, so here's some rapid fire takes on them. Zelda 1 is surprisingly enjoyable with a guide, and was better than I expected. Zelda 2 has charm, but is also probably the most painful gaming experience I've ever had. It was worth beating though. And lastly, I was surprised with how much Metroid 1 established and was decently impressed with it. It isn't that great, but honestly it isn't that bad either. As long as you use save states and Mother Brain was a bitch. I've been getting into SSX this year. There's just something about this series, the early 2000s edge, the arcadey feel, the sheer over-the-topness of it all. None of this would work in real life, but in a game? Hell yeah. These courses are so crazy, so dynamic, and just so fun. It's a shame that we don't really have these kinds of extreme sports games anymore. Here's a PSA for all you humans out there. Uncharted is awesome. Easily my favorite first-party PlayStation franchise. This year, I beat 3 and 4. 3 felt like the culmination of everything Naughty Dog learned while working with the PS3, and was just a wonderful experience. The locales were diverse and interesting, the gameplay polished, and the story was top-notch. Probably my favorite in the series, actually. 4 was super refined and extremely good, the characters were incredible. The pacing near the end was a bit weird. Still a fantastic game though, and highly recommended.
This is a certified hood classic.
Sticking with the PlayStation theme, I also played half of Shadow of the Colossus. It's a very good game, extremely unique. There really is no other game quite like it. It's so quiet and atmospheric and strangely compelling. I really need to beat it sometime soon.
Get ready for the next battle.
This year, I also found out that Tekken with the boys at 3 AM is an unparalleled vibe, man. The series is so stupid, yet so deep and incredibly fun. Finding a seemingly unbeatable strategy only for one of my friends to find a seemingly unbeatable counter was endlessly engaging. We had so much fun that night. Definitely going to be playing more in the coming year.
Hey, I know. I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
Do I really have to say this? Yes, now get on with it. But they'll come at me with pitchforks and M14s. This is Canada and the camera's rolling. Go. I, Coco064, think the Pokemon has had a pretty good year. Louder. Look, I think Pokemon's had a good year, okay? The year started off strong with Legends Arceus, which I quite enjoyed. The catching and battle mechanics were great, but I think I connect more with the Pokemon game set in the modern day, and the graphics were kinda garbo, but other than those nitpicks, it's a really solid game. Then there's Scarlet and Violet. They are buggy, battles and the UI are more sluggish than in Arceus. Graphically, they are worse than Sonic 06, and the art style isn't very good. I have not beaten them yet. And they are also my favorite Pokemon games on the Switch. I even liked Brilliant Diamond and Shining.
Gonna blast them into next week.
You wanna know what's better than Pokemon though? Depression. Unrelated, Xenoblade 3 is simply one of the best games of all time. For me, the only game that surpasses it is Breath of the Wild. It's that good. It's incredible on every level. The graphics and music are gorgeous, and the gameplay is tight. I especially love the class system, but what I really want to bring attention to is the characters and story. Of course. Within 10 hours out of a good minimum of 70, Xenoblade 3 unites its main cast, which is an excellent move. After that kind of setup period, it just builds and builds its characters and universe, and in the process creates one of the most rich and alive-feeling worlds in a video game. The main plot is incredible, the side plots are all extremely interesting and meaningful. It's just absolutely amazing. Please, if you're at all interested, play Xenoblade 3. It is the only piece of media that has brought me close to tears. So that's been my year. But, man, I don't know about you guys, but I need organization in my life. Most of the time. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that it's time for my games of the year. I've got quite a few fun categories lined up, but before we get into them, let's just remember this is all my opinion, and it's most certainly wrong, except for some, which... You know what, let's just get into them and have some fun, okay? The Best Art Direction award goes to Astral Chain. I played it for like 2 seconds, so yeah, I couldn't help but put it there. It looks so cool! My runner-ups are Shadow of the Colossus, a stunning looking game, and Xenoblade 3, which just had such a good art style, and the best eye graphics of the year. The award for Best RPG goes to Xenoblade 3. Of course it's Xenoblade 3. It's not even close, you all saw this coming, it's Xenoblade 3. My runner-up is Persona 5, another one of the best RPGs of all time. I didn't talk about it before because this happened 30 hours in, and now I'm waiting to age. But rest assured, the story is incredible, the characters are amazing, the art style is fantastic, the style in general, like with the UI and everything, is awesome, and it has the best turn-based combat in an RPG. The Best Action Adventure award goes to Metal Gear Solid 5. This is the Breath of the Wild of third-person shooters. It's so free, so open, so just fun. You can do so much in it, and it came out in 2015. That is insane! It hasn't aged a day graphically or gameplay-wise. It's what other open-world games wish they were. My runner-up is Uncharted 3, the best game in the series in my opinion. It's a great action-packed Indiana Jones-esque romp with a fantastic story. Highly recommended. The Best Narrative award goes to Xenoblade 3. Of course it does. Chapter 5. Xenoblade fans will get what I'm talking about. If you aren't interested in actually playing the game, at least watch the cutscenes on YouTube or something, because this is one of the best stories ever told in the video game medium. For my money, the best, full stop. My runner-up is Metal Gear Solid 3. Its story is over the top and completely insane, and yet it's also incredibly captivating and easy to get invested in. The most atmospheric was Super Metroid. It goes to Super Metroid. It's possibly the most atmospheric game of all time. Maybe with competition from Metroid Prime, so yeah. My runner-up is Shadow of the Colossus, which almost feels unfair. It's so subdued and quiet and immersive. Like, it should have won, but I played Super Metroid this year, and it's Super Metroid, I mean, come on! The Best Multiplayer Award is a no-brainer for me, Wii Sports. This is the year I put the most time I have into the game, and it just holds up so well. Golf and bowling are easily my favorites, great laid-back games to play while fooling around with friends. Tekken 5 is my runner-up, but that's not all. It's also the winner of the Best Fighting Game Award. Tekken 5 is just amazing all around. It's an experience with friends that absolutely slaps, and it's really deep. I'm sure there's a ton of super advanced techniques that I'd never be able to do, but I think that Tekken 5 really is a success because it still is fun and accessible for newcomers like me. The runner-up in this category is Soul Calibur 2. It's fairly similar to Tekken in terms of why it's good, but I think that Tekken is just a little more fun. Soul Calibur 2 does have Link though. The award for my best memory I have from my year in gaming goes to my first Retro Game Expo. I had a fantastic time being around people like me and hunting for deals. I even got to use an Apple Pippin and learned about the Laser Active. It was great. Actually, come to think of it, I used an Apple Pippin before I even touched a Sega Genesis. What the f... My runner-up is easily just playing Xenoblade 3 literally all day when it came out. It was just such a fun, carefree time, and I was experiencing the game at around the same pace as the rest of the community, and it was an extremely cool and new experience having that connection with those people. I'd love to have it again with Tears of the Kingdom. The Game That I Wish I Played award, which is only limited to games that came out this year, goes to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Why? It's Kirby! Look at him! And he's a car now? I need to play this game. My runner-up is Sonic Frontiers, a game that gets more and more appealing every time I hear about it. Go fast? Ooh. Good combat system? Ooh. Exploration heavy? Ooh. I really should get it at some point. The Best Score in Audio award goes to Xenoblade 3. Honestly, this entire series has some of the best music in gaming, so this was just a shoo-in from the start, to be honest. My runner-up is Persona 5, with just so many bangers, and it's only second because I haven't beat it. Last Surprise, Life Will Change, Layer Cake, Rivers in the Desert, Alley Cat, Tokyo Daylight, Colors Flying High, Beneath the Mask, Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There. This really could have just won this award, couldn't it? For the Best Pickup award, I was originally going to have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for 48 Canadian and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Definitive Experience for $4 Canadian here, which are my runner-ups, but then, very recently, I stumbled upon my uncle's old game collection and was allowed to take it, and I scored, pretty well, I'd say. There's a bit of stuff here. Dreamcast. You had very good taste in PlayStation 2 games. A bunch of SNES games in there. There's a copy of Wild Guns. In Television 2? Yeah. I don't care if this isn't technically a pickup, I got a Dreamcast, multiple Sega Genesises, and Wild Guns for free. I still can't believe it. Oh, side note, I also bought Shadow the Hedgehog because I was thinking about it and my friend convinced me, and it is a masterpiece. It's not a runner-up, I didn't get it for a particularly good deal, I just wanted to talk about it because look at it, it's Shadow the Hedgehog, I love this thing. The Best Action Game Award couldn't go to anything but Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Look at this! Do I really need to explain myself? It's fast, satisfying, has a great story, and a killer soundtrack. It's everything a Platinum game should be. As for my runner-up, I didn't really play that many action games this year, but Modern Warfare 2's demo was kind of fun. Best Retro Game, Super Metroid. I already talked about it, and yeah, it is simply incredible. Easily one of the best games of all time, and a triumph in every way possible. Metal Gear Solid 3 is my runner-up for its captivating story, engaging gameplay, and wealth of content. And the award for Game of the Year of 2022 goes to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think you all saw this coming. If you don't know me, you thought it was going to be this. If you know me, you knew it was going to be this. Chapter 5. Xenoblade fans get what I'm talking about, man. They know! They know! You guys know, and you guys are incredible. It is simply one of the greatest games of all time. In my mind, certainly the greatest RPG of all time. I've said pretty much everything I need to say about it in this video for now. But, oh god, yeah. That game has an impact, man. It's how many months out from release now, and I still think about it daily. It messes with you, okay? Xenoblade messes you up. But for now, I'm gonna stop rambling, and I'm just gonna leave you with this.
Yes, Uni's the boss. Never do that again!
Come on. You're already soaking wet anyway. What difference does it make?
The difference is, you're an asshole!
For that is my role as an officer.
Right.
Is my voice that deep?
Shot at you. I wasn't trying to be anyone specific. Right. I've had about enough of all this depressing crap. Let's head back and hit the showers. Nice one.
Right, okay. On an emotional level, I could understand.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, shut up. If you're gonna act like a spoon, of course I'm gonna call you one.
It takes one to know one. More Snuffy and water. Every time we run, why do we always end up getting drenched? I mean, feathers are a bitch to dry. But guys, now we know there's an even bigger bad behind that snuffer. Sounds like Little Miss Senior's decided to pull rank, eh?
Roger that, Mom.